Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
जय सच्चिदानंद।
Guidati three mantra bolao, please.
नमो वीतरागाय,
Namo
Namo
Vitraga.
Vitraya.
नमो वरिहंताणं,
Namo
Namo
Varihantanam.
Harihantaram.
नमो सिद्धाणं,
Namo Siddharam.
नमो आयरीयाणं,
Namo Ayariya.
Ayariyanam.
नमो वज्रयाणं,
Namo
Vasayanam.
Vajrayanam.
नमो लोये सवसाहुणं,
Namo Dvaya
Oi
Sarvasaram.
Sabbasanam.
ऐसो पंचन मुक्कारो,
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
सर्वपावपणासनो,
Sarvapavapanasaho.
मंगलाणं च सौलेसें,
Mangalam
Danam Chasavise.
Sarvesam.
परमं हवै मंगलम्।
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमः शिवाय।
Om Namah
Namah
Shivaya.
Shivaya.
जय सच्चिदानंद।
Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand Kashabhai.
Yes, Jai Sachidanand, everyone. Uh, yeah, so regarding the ninth column, so it's Jagat Kalyan, माने कोई पण माने जगतना निमित्त जगत कल्याण करवानु निमित्त बनवानी शक्ति आपो this one. So the things which is atmosphere which is going on, the war and all, so everywhere it is. So please throw more light on this column. I would like to know what is the Jagat Kalyan again, a little bit more depth and understanding.
Deepakanandji.
I feel
Satchidanand.
I have feeling that we are all means if we are facing this all things, we are also uh, means invited this, kind of, so that is what the feeling is. That, yeah.
Jai Satchidanand. If we just recall and the times when Tirthankar Paramatma, the living absolutes, were there, even during their time, these wars were going on. So this is not anything new. This world is, and you can see from 0 to 360 degree. What is that 0? No wisdom. And 360 degree, full wisdom, total wisdom. Anytime, in any school, if you see, there are people, there are students who are nursery going, kindergarten, and you will see PhDs also. Now, what is good, what is bad? You have to understand that this world, you will find every level of individual. So, every level of violence, you can say, or every level of non-violence, you can say, 0 to 360 degree. So, someone who has reached that level of perfection and wisdom, just because such a thing happened, it has nothing to do with your thinking. But yes, one thing is there. If we talk through anticipation that whoever who has become absolute today or who is on the path of wisdom, he has passed through all this. So one level of violence is such wherein you have to get involved into that violence because of your uh, favor or your vote for that. But then other level of violence is you have to see that violence in the sense in your absolute wisdom you will have to see this violence also, and seeing this violence or such violence you have to remain unperturbed in absolute balance. The reason is, why are they fighting? Let us say what Dada used to give, someone who is fully enlightened like Mahavir Bhagwan and someone who is not enlightened. We will just try to take an example. I don't want to name anybody, but how would these two individuals perceive this situation when they encounter or when they come across? It is said that person who is not fully enlightened or who has not reached that highest level of wisdom, he will get affected. At the same time, he might favor here or there. What I mean, someone, I mean, two-person are two party or two people, two-person are fighting. Then one is on the positive side. What I mean positive in the sense that he is overpowering and other is subdued, or who is being hit, and the other guy who is hitting. Now, the one who is not fully enlightened in the sense who has not reached highest level of wisdom or perfection, then he will get affected. You say, why such a thing? And he will have that uh, feeling of pity, sorrow, and whatnot. But the one who is fully enlightened, who has become totally impartial, he understands because for him, whatever is happening in front of him today is not the only thing which he perceives in his immaculate wide spectrum vision. He sees from 0 to 360 degree in the sense why is this happening, what is the cause of this happening, and what is the effect of this happening in his complete picture of wisdom. So he knows why this guy is hitting, and the other guy, why is the other guy getting hit and facing destruction, loss, calamity, whatever. So for him, he remains absolutely impartial and perceives this thing as a mere happening. See, we term or we label such thing as war and all that. But what is this? You try to understand. Bigger life or powerful being consumes the weaker one, smaller one. So it's like when we eat, for our survival, when we eat, then we eat the smaller beings, like we eat vegetables. So in that process, isn't there any violence? It is there, but it is part of our life. But the one who has reached that highest level of perfection, absolute Tirthankara, and nearly Gnani Purusha, for their food also becomes very natural in the sense they don't have to eat physically. They directly acquire whatever they need from the atmosphere. So even that dramatic or uh, obvious process of consuming food and consuming a living being is not apparently seen. It's not there. So that is how a person progresses in the wisdom of knowledge, wisdom of truth, and reaches absoluteness.
So
So in the in between,
those who achieve Keval Gyan means have this no, completely non-violent state.
yes, apparently in the sense, the final non-violent ultimate state is one who has got liberated. Because the reason is, till they have body, they do not experience that absolute uh, bliss of totally free, which is totally free from any kind of pain. I don't have truly have the English equivalent, but it is said that once when someone gets liberated, that person experience anant avyabad sukha. That is that bliss which is totally free from pain and agony. Do you understand?
Yes, but
For
after
that moment, for that
though,
moment, and then
yeah,
he
but
gets
now
protect.
only our focus is on the Keval Gyan, right? So how to achieve that, right? Our journey towards that.
Yes. So,
So
in fact, our attempt or our effort is to remain in the precepts, directions, obedience of Brahmi Purush, Dada Bhagwan, the liberated one. And that's how it will help us progress and surpass our leftover karmas, wherein there is a factor of violence which we encounter when we are to surpass this through uh, close perception, vigilance, and correction, and of course, resolution.
so here the fourth agna that संभाव से निकाल कर करवानो छे so
Yes,
and
there is the
also it
amicable settlement of the relational files, give and
yeah
take
and
file.
as also you say that Sumer Sadhine so that is not yet we have not achieved yet I mean I have not
No, it
achieved
is in the
that
causal state,
yeah
seed form.
yeah
The reason is our determination is full. We are totally determined that I want to remain in that fourth precept. But the problem is your decision is there. But today's mind, speech, body is not capable enough to transform that decision into reality, into action. That's a limitation, today's limitation. So, whatever is not happening, we are acknowledging that, we are perceiving that too. We are correcting that also. And we are resolving that come what may. I want to handle this relation or this karmic account total amicable settlement, which is
yeah
not happening now. But
yeah
because it is not happening,
somehow it
I,
is
I am
there
apologizing for that, and I resolve that come what may, I want to do amicable settlement. So, in this causal form of our determination to handle the file amicably, the new causal body which is formed, which is getting formed out of our precept following, it is going to take us to the absolute, where the ultimate, the final wheel of ignorance will drop, and that absoluteness, absolute knowledge will open up.
Yeah, the tug of war is constantly happens, that one side this thing is there that yes we have to remain in the Agna and and other side it is like you said that the mind, speech, body they discharge and they get carried away,
Correct,
so
correct.
the tug of war is always continuing,
Yes,
and
yes. But then we are ultimately going to win. The reason being that is a discharging aspect
mm,
which is already caused. And today's effort is not that highest level of effort which ultimately culminate into absoluteness, or in the sense which culminates into total annihilation of karma,
Yeah.
which is not happening. And which is going to happen when that opportune time is there, when absolutes are also there, and this place has entered into that time phase wherein it is not possible to achieve that perfection.
Yeah, but when we say the Navkalams, then we realize that these are the shortcomings, means even if the past, or which is reflecting the present, that we have somehow, we have this not normality, violence, in our molecules in our, so and we are getting affected means that the violence is inside of us, and we are
Yeah,
not.
it is obviously there.
Yeah.
See, that, how do you say that, that feeling of empathy and whatever you say that,
Mm.
that feeling is hurting us. When we encounter such things, it hurts us. But then this is the process, because we are not able to have the complete vision of why is this happening. We are not able to see the cause of this happening, and we are not even able to see the effect of this happening. But those who has reached this absoluteness, they are able to see the original cause due to which this situation has arisen, and they also know the result of this happening.
Yeah.
So who is at fault? And we see individuals and we blame individuals doing it. Actually, it is just a mere happening, uh, mechanical, or like things happen in a machinery. Because, like how Dada used to say, a charge, uh, idol or statue or motorized thing. Because it is charged, it was caused, it is happening, and it is going to subside. But those who are involved in such wars or violence, they have not realized. So while facing the result of their past violent projections, they are causing new projections. If those new projections are non-violent, they'll come out of it, which is happening to one who is realized, although he may come across, he may encounter such things, but in his inner decision, he doesn't want to do it. He
Yeah.
wants to free himself from even these discharging violent activities, karmic effect. And
Mm.
that's how we come out, and that's how we are, our today's effort is in that direction,
Correct. Mm.
right?
Yes, thank you. That's achieved.
Jai Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji?
See, it is very simple. You started off with this war, this violence, it is affecting us. How can we use the ninth column in this scenario? Essentially, what is happening is because of the war and violence, it is we who are getting affected. It is our buddhi or intellect which is getting judgmental that this is right, this is wrong. He should not do like this, he should do like this, he should be punished for this. Now, it is this intellect which is making us emotional, which is affecting us. And this buddhi or intellect is activated because of our inner beliefs, or potapano or inner beliefs of what is right and what is wrong. The Tirthankar or the enlightened persons have a different perspective altogether. So they don't have any such beliefs, or don't get into this right and wrong judgmental, because they know that it is the karma of both parties, the aggressor and the aggrieved, that is playing out. So in their global vision, they remain unaffected, and they are not judgmental. So they are unaffected. We, because of in not having that complete enlightened state, we get affected. So first thing is what is affecting us, our inner beliefs of right and wrong, which is being played out by buddhi, and that is what making us emotional. So what is the answer? The understanding that Vitarags have, the fully enlightened persons have, that this is the karmas of both being played out. And moreover, Dada has already told us many years ago that this world war and all this will going to happen, massive destruction will take place, and all the impurities or wrong understandings in this world will be cleansed, and then Satyug type of environment will be established. So we have that backing. Okay? And you see, essentially, this Dada Bhagwan said, such type of things happen every half cycle. Dada Bhagwan said, every half cycle Ramayana Mahabharata takes place. Treasured 63 Shresht, the topmost Shalaka Purush, topmost people are always born, wars are always fought, and it's a cycle from Satyug to Kalyug. So this is nothing new. It happens every half cycle of the time circle. So with these two major visions, we can remain unperturbed, we can remain equanimous. In case we are still getting agitated, the solution for us is pray that, Hey Dada Bhagwan, may wisdom prevail on both the parties. Hey Dada Bhagwan, may the welfare of both of them or of entire world take place. આખા જગતનું કલ્યાણ થાવ, બધાને સદબુદ્ધિ હોજો. Everyone get the good wisdom and may the welfare of everyone take place. So this, our prayers or our intentions will pacify our buddhi, which is making us emotional. And the positive vibrations always help in the world. So that's positive vibrations from our end. It will pacify our inner disturbance, basically. So that's the way we can look at this. It's our intellect, because of our inner belief, is disturbing us. Use the wisdom of the enlightened. It's the discharge being played out of both happens in every half cycle, and this is in the best interest of the world, because the Satyug type of environment will come after cleansing. Nature is doing the cleansing. Until that time, we can do the bhavana or the prayers that may the welfare of everybody take place. May everyone have good wisdom prevail on everyone. Sarvana Sadbuddhi Hojo. That's all. Jai Sachi.
Right. Yes. Yes. Sir.
Elizabeth? Elizabeth? Miraben? Rani? Okay.
Jay Satchidanand, I think probably we all had similar questions today, given everything that's happened. But I wanted to share just also an update from, I think, previous satsang. Pulinanandji gave me some practical tips, and it's been helping a lot at work. I have little reminders in my cubicle that I've written and kind of taped in different places, so that because it's like before I go to work, the mind is clear, the intent is very clear of what you want to do, but it's like Deepakanandji just explained, that disconnect happens by the time you get to that environment, that your mind, your speech, your body, the three are not aligned in the same way. So you say, I want to see people as nirdosh, as atma, shuddhatma when I go into work, but then you forget. So the reminders help me that, okay, Pulinanandji said, you might forget, but like set some times throughout the day to reflect. And when I did that, and as I do that more, it's like I think of way more people that I missed. It's like, so something is observing all of these things that even Rani is not observing or paying attention to. But when you set that time to reflect and say, okay, who did I miss seeing? You remember all kinds of people, the security guard, the cleaning lady, the this, the that, all these people that you didn't even interact with, but you just maybe saw them in your periphery as you were walking in. So that awareness is becoming more and more, even just like, okay, there's all these trees that are on the way to work that you see, there's life in all of this, so that at least helps balance, I think, some of the other things that are caused by our intellect that come up, like that, war and all of these things that are impacting everybody. um it's helping a lot. It's helping a lot. And I think what was very helpful was setting the time throughout the day to reflect on what has happened. Because when you're at work, sometimes people are throwing assignments at you. There's many things. I'm in the emergency department, so we're always dealing with outbreaks, emergencies, that kind of thing. So maybe right away I don't remember, but at lunch I can take 5-10 minutes and reflect back on what happened, in the 3 to 4 hour period from arrival at work till lunch. And it's amazing what you're able to recall. That I know that the relative self is not recalling that. Something else is able to remember all of those things. I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but I just wanted to share that brief update since the last satsang that we had, because it's been very helpful to have that reminder throughout the week when you're not in satsang. So, Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Pulinanandji?
No, that is perfect. We all need reminders. We all need reminders because we have brought discharge karmas, which overpower us. Our files overpower us at work, at home, wherever. So, what is that fireness? Fireness is also a type of a reminder to keep you anchored in the soul while you are executing your worldly duties. You don't see other person as the doer. You see us as a doer, or some uncomfortable person comes. We say file has come. So, and the biggest reminder that the Bhagwan has given to all Mahatmas is this Charan Vidhi, the Nishya Charan Vidhi. That please do it once in a day without fail. So that itself is the biggest reminder that I am the pure soul with so many properties, infinite knowledge, bliss, and all that stuff. And we ask repentance for whatever errors we have done. We also ask for strength in that Nishya Charan Vidhi. So that is the biggest reminder. And then these are additional things we need to do so that we remain focused on our goal. So, and then Dada Bhagwan has had given out such clues or such tips to people as and when they came to him and expressing their inability to remain in the pure soul awareness. So Dada said, Chalo, you recall, that is, review the day, and you'll immediately see where you missed saying Shuddhatma, or where you tripped in hurting someone, or where you you're not able to practice the fire. So that's it's a sort of replay in a test match. You replay, and then you immediately cleanse it or go to it, so that after that review, awareness increases that, oh yes, I have to see Shuddhatma, or I have to practice the fire. So that's the biggest thing he gave. And then additionally, he gave all those 5-7 tips of saying those 3 sentences, or saying the Siddha Stuti, chanting the properties of the pure soul, infinite knowledge, infinite wisdom, infinite strength, infinite bliss. So these are various means he has given, wherein we can remain, the Antaratma, the intermediate state, can remain in the pure soul by seeing Shuddhatma and others, by chanting the properties of the pure soul, asking for strength to remain in the pure soul. And wherever it is getting drawn into the file number 1 or the relative, then he can ask for strength. He can do pratikrama. he can do pratikramans. So the cleansing part also takes place, which is working as wheels over the Jagrati or over the pure soul awareness. So he has given both tips or reminders. One is cleansing part on the relative side, and one is remaining in the pure soul by that pure soul awareness. But that's all. That's all what we need. And satsang is one of the biggest means, he said, five agnas mein, the fifth agna was filling the account in the pure soul, Shuddhatma, this thing account. Essentially do something for the pure soul. Otherwise, the discharge Prakriti, file number 1, will drag you into the relative realm. Biggest amount you can fill in that account is by practicing the first 4 agnas. Then the next is remaining in satsang, remaining in touch. Because you see, this we are doing something against our Prakriti. We have received the pure soul awareness by the grace, but the discharge matter that we have brought in our Prakriti, in our file number 1, is all sliding or pointing towards worldly happiness, worldly, inclination, towards all worldly matters, rag, dvesh, like, dislikes, and things like that. And today we have decided, no, our happiness is in pure soul, happiness is in moksha, that I want to go to moksha. So we have to work against the discharge Prakriti. And whenever one has to work against one's own discharge Prakriti, he does need reminders, number 1. And number 2, most essential, what he needs is company of like-minded people. Even if I want to play golf, for example, just in the relative realm, I don't know golf. I don't know anything about golf. I've only seen some people play here and there. And I'm forced to play golf or participate in a tournament, for example. So what do I do? So I have to read about it. I have to hire a coach. Then I have to practice. Then I have to observe others playing. Then I can practice. So I need company of golf players so that I can see them, play them, and refine and improve and become a good player. Same way, for our moksha, we want to go to moksha. We want our intention now is not to hurt anybody by mind, body, speech, to do follow 5 agnas, to do with this, to do all the other pushas. So what motivates me or what keeps me anchored in that is when I am in like-minded people, when I am in the company of Mahatmas. Mahatmas are all like-minded people whose goal is to go to moksha. So when people with the same thought process are gathered together, then the experiences of each other or the sheer vibrations of the environment, they are a big, big boost to whatever knowledge we already have. Not that you and me don't have, we have it, but we need reminders. So company of like-minded people, that is what is called a satsang. It can be physical satsang with people who's happening in your area or town, or through online. And one step down is watching it afterwards on YouTube, which is not as powerful, but chalo, something is better than nothing. So that is the next best substitute or a reminder to boost our alertness, to boost our jagrati, our awareness of the soul. So all of us need 2 things. One is that agna practice, and one is this physical reminders of whatever we have heard. And the third thing is company of like-minded people. So these are all various types of reminders which we need till our awareness reaches a reasonably high level. It progresses and goes up till our inner kashayas, till our inner moha, discharge moha, tapers down or reduces, so that it does not become an obstruction or a wheel on our pure soul awareness. Till that time, this is more as a must. And then as our awareness increases, as our discharge force reduces, then we can remain a reasonable amount of time without reminders in the pure soul awareness. But reminders still required, till of course Kevala Gnan. Because Dada Bhagwan himself desired to remain in company of Mahatmas. He says sometimes Dada was not very well, health was not good. So Mahatmas, Sangpati and everybody would advise, Dada, today you please take rest. We will not have satsang, etc., etc. I said, no, if Mahatmas come and meet me, I will become healthy much faster. My health will improve faster. So he desired, because that was the nourishment for the pure soul, the pure soul awareness. So the company of Mahatmas is always a boost, a spiritual boost uh, for us also, which Dada Bhagwan also cherished. So we all must definitely do, especially people like Rani, whose work involves everything, touring and all that stuff, where it restricts you from satsangs. So people who have those type of circumstances should definitely nourish this desire very strongly, that may I get the circumstances of attending satsang or remaining in satsang. May I get satsang, satsang, and satsang. So if you do this bhavana, nourish this desire, you will get circumstances of that type. By saying, oh, my work is like this, what can I do? Then that will the way Vyavasthit will play out. But you put this how is this desire, then nature will try to fulfill that desire. And that will accelerate the company, the satsangs, the listening of satsang, the interacting with Mahatmas. That will accelerate our awareness, our progress towards moksha, our separation awareness. That will accelerate that. So that's one more thing you can add in that big list of whatever we discussed. I think 2-3 satsang ago. The desire that may I get circumstances which permit me to attend satsangs. Maybe even that 1 hour, 2 hours. Then other hours you may be engrossed. Like today you are present. So if you get even that much, 1 hour slot also, it's okay. Maybe 1 hour of this and maybe 1 hour of something else. So that's the bound you can do. Jai Sachin.
Deepakanji, you want to add something? Okay, Deepakanji.
You're
Unmute,
muted.
unmute.
Jai Sachidanand, after getting realized who you are, or before this realization, every individual is a worldly being and he tosses from one place to another. He encounters or undergoes uh, life activities, and while suffering those effects, he causes new karma. But then, after realization, what happens is your leftover discharging karmas make you do something, make you make others do something. And the effect is you have to pass through bouts of suffering, happiness or unhappiness. Now, this process is compulsory. Once realize you're not causing new karma, but uh, your state of awareness was ignorant state before enlightenment. But after enlightenment, as Dada has said, one who believes in reincarnation, he has surpassed this level of awareness, he has surpassed the level of awareness. I mean, no, he is in that awareness state. And with Dada's knowledge, that is wisdom of knowledge, one enters into alertness state. And Dada says, I am in the state of exactness. Now, we have been alerted, we have been cautioned. And that is how we are progressing in our life, trying to free ourselves from every kind of suffering. And while passing through those sufferings, those situations wherein you suffer, that is, your body suffers, you want to remain vigilant as pure soul so that you can surpass those suffering without getting affected, at the same time remain totally vigilant and perceive those suffering in pure soul state so that ultimately you surpass them and you get away with them. So like you amicably settle them, because these likes and dislikes, happiness and unhappiness that you encounter, you're not vigilant because of the circumstantial pressure. But once we come across these satsang, these opening, I will say, then your alertness, your vigilance improves. And the purpose of that is because you have attained that state of pure soul as you are, and now you have to live as pure soul. The body itself has become a discharging effect of the past karmas only, and you are not causing new karma. New karmas are only related to precept agna following, which is helping you come out of these likes and dislikes and ultimately become totally impartial, become absolute. So these process and these things, like, because while you are ignorant, you will be moving around ignorant people only. And having enlightened, got enlightened, definitely you will in between have these interactions also, and it will help you improve your vigilance, improve your alertness, leading to exactness as of Dada Bhagwan. And that's how all these exposures, encounters with experienced people who are also walking in the same direction help you uh, in your quest of becoming perfect, that is, becoming exact, becoming absolute. And that is the path, and this is how it will help you grow in your wisdom through your improved experience. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand.
Lalita Ben,
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
I have one question to ask before I read from the book. And this is, we're reading Aptavani 14, part 3. And I'll just read this, just a small, it's just a couple of sentences. Shuddh Upyog
Page,
page 85.
and the topic.
I think this is about Keval Gyan.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is શુદ્ધ ઉપયોગ એ જ્ઞાન સ્વરૂપ કહેવાય અને ઉપયોગમાં એ વિજ્ઞાન સ્વરૂપ કહેવાય, કેવળ જ્ઞાન સ્વરૂપ કહેવાય. શુદ્ધ ઉપયોગની ઉપરે ઉપયોગ રાખે કે શુદ્ધ ઉપયોગ કેવો વર્તે છે એ કેવળ જ્ઞાન છે. ઉપયોગ પર ઉપયોગ. So can you please explain that?
Deepakanandji.
Jai Satchidanand. Okay, from whatever you have said, see, one side, let us say on the left side, because left side of our body is Parvati, that is Lalita.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm.
Extreme right is pure soul, Shiva.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that Shiva state is absolute state, Vijnan Swarup.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Dada has enlightened us and uplifted us
Mm-hmm.
to that level of Vijnan Swarup.
Mm-hmm.
But he says, I could not remain there, so how are you going to remain there? So our operating condition,
Mm-hmm.
working state is Antaratma state. That is
Mm-hmm.
in-between state,
Mm-hmm.
interim state, or intermediate state, intermediate enlightened state. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what is this intermediate enlightened state? Understand, our operating state is intermediate enlightened state, but we have reached that, touched that state of absolute state, Vijnan Swarup. Now, at that Vijnan Swarup state is Upyog Upar Upyog. Why? The one who remains in Upyog is intermediate enlightened state, Antaratma state.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
That is, the intermediate state is state of effort, Purusharth.
Okay.
Because Dada got away with our blunder,
Mm-hmm.
primary wrong belief that I am Lalita,
Mm-hmm.
and you have acquired I am pure soul.
Mm-hmm.
But still, there are accumulated mistakes which were never addressed by us.
Mm-hmm.
And Dada said, in today's time, it is not possible to address them and get away with that,
Mm-hmm.
get away with them. So this stepless path opened out of mere grace and miracle, and that's how we have been uplifted to that 12th state of perfection, Vijnan Swarup state. But
Mm-hmm.
because of uncorrected mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
unaddressed mistakes, uncorrected mistakes, our operating state is intermediate enlightened state. Dada is
Mm-hmm.
also intermediate enlightened state, but it is like 95%, 99%, 356 degrees, which he has said he has gained 2.5 more. So for our practical purpose, we will say he had reached 359 degrees. 1
Correct.
degree less, he says, that will get covered in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But what was possible and what he did in these 30 years was he gained those 2.5 degrees. So for a practical
Mm-hmm.
purpose, we'll say 3 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And we are, through his grace, we got uplifted to 320 degrees. Just an empirical understanding.
It said here
So
200 to 300. It said
no,
earlier in the book,
no,
it said
that,
like
no, 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 no. You have to
no.
correct that, because he said a sweeper in India is
Mm-hmm.
220.
Oh my God.
That was his
Okay.
words.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's to the best of my
Uh-huh.
understanding.
Uh-huh.
And one gets uplifted more than 300. The
Mm-hmm.
problem is just to understand, empirically understand.
Mm-hmm.
He finished he was left with 4 degrees, 356 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he covered 2.5 degrees in those 30 years of this life through his inner efforts, correct? And
Yes.
we have to cover 40 degrees from
Mm-hmm.
320 to 360 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is so that intermediate enlightened state is the state of Purusharth.
Mm-hmm.
And his state of Purusharth is also there, but it is very much near absoluteness. So he says
Mm.
we are very close to Arihanta, absolute, Tetankara, just 4 degrees less, which also he covered 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? So state of Upyoga is intermediate enlightened state. And Dada says because of his higher level of Upyoga, his Upyog state, Purusharth state, has become natural. He doesn't have to put any effort. That's why he has said, what is it called? Pramad Vinano Sanyam.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, is Sanyam but with Pramad, with obstruction.
Mm-hmm.
His was obstruction free experience state, but few degrees less
Mm-hmm.
than the real absolutes. So for him, he is always in that Upyog Upar Upyog state, Vijnan Sarup state.
That's true.
And that is that is the ultimate state.
Mm-hmm.
Because for him, it's just 1 degree is nothing, 1.5 degrees is nothing, or 4 degrees is also nothing. Because with that, we can't catch him. Nobody can catch him in this world. So he said, anyone who stays with me for 6 months, 24/7, he won't be able to find one mistake in me. And we are in that Purusharth state. We may talk about Upyog, Uparupyog, Vignan Sarup state because we had been uplifted through grace. But our operating state is Upyog state only. That's why we
Correct.
say we are in the perceiver state,
Mm-hmm.
drashta state, wherein our effort is to understand these discharging karma and remain as pure soul in that state. Whereas Dada Bhagwan's state was, he got away with all these sticky karmas and he was always in that enlightened experience state, only at a subtle level, subtler and subtlest level. Sukshmatam and Sukshmatar and Sukshmatam,
Supatam.
he says he has to surpass them. Correct?
Correct.
So we are in this Upyog state, perceiver state, wherein in that drashta state, our total effort is to understand what is happening with Lalita, that is our body self,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how we are cleansing the relative aspect through Upyoga.
Mm-hmm.
But we are also benefited. So because of that Upyog, Uparupyog state, Vignan Sarup state, we are able to understand the lapses of our Upyog state.
Correct. I mean, he
Understand?
was in it all the time.
Perceiver state, our drashta state,
Yeah.
we say, oh, I missed the Agna. Why?
Mm-hmm.
How can someone know when the operating condition is of Agna following?
Correct.
But we can see wherever we have missed the Agna because of that I will say passive
Mm-hmm.
absolute state,
Mm-hmm.
Vignan Sarup state. But it is not active, but it is still there. So when in the absence of the discharging karma and its effect and its suffering, we are able to experience that. And
Okay.
we are able to see what were the lapse in our Purusharth state, perceiver
Mm-hmm.
state, drashta state.
Mm-hmm.
And we are correcting that also. In the intermediate enlightenment state, that is Antaratma state, we are correcting Lalita.
Yes.
And
Yes.
in that state, we are correcting our Upyog state, drashta state,
Mm-hmm.
by affirming, correcting, dissolving that I want to remain in Agna.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
That is in relation to Upyog Uparupyog, but that it is not active. For Dada, it is active. For us, it is passive. It is acting
Yeah.
only when there is no karma. Absolutely nothing is there. And we are able to understand our lapses in the Agna following state. That is intermediate
Yes.
enlightened state. And
Yes.
that is the ultimate divinity what Dada has given to us. And that's how we are experiencing that freedom also. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Can you just
Pulinanandji,
read the very first sentence you said? The 3-4 sentence, the very first sentence you said.
Oh, 1 second. 1 second. 85. I have it underlined. 1 second. I'm almost there. Yeah. Oh, I have to. Yeah, okay. શુદ્ધ ઉપયોગ એ જ્ઞાન સ્વરૂપ કહેવાય અને ઉપયોગમાં એ વિજ્ઞાન સ્વરૂપ કહેવાય.
Bus, okay. So basically, in this few sentences, Dada Bhagwan is just trying to tell where we are and what is the final destination. He has just used words to describe these two states, you know. One is Shuddh Upyog and one is that Upyog par Upyog. So it's very simple. Shuddh Upyog is using the prajna, using the jagrati and remaining an observer of file number 1. Remaining
Mhm.
observed form is called Shuddha Upyog because you're using the observer state, pure observer state
Mhm.
in the
Mhm.
light of the Prajna Shakti.
Mhm.
So that is called Gnan Swarup. We are using the Gnan.
Mhm.
And how much of that Upyog is maintained?
Mhm.
This intermediate state, I, how much of that Shuddha is maintained or is able to be an observer for what part of time, how much is able to do it, how much of Shuddha is sustained, how much of Shuddha is not being sustained, who keeps a watch or track of it, that is the pure soul, that is the Vijnana Swarup. You know? So that
That
keeps the
is
track, and that
such
keeps
a
the track.
subtle layer on that,
No, it's very simple. The pure soul is on one end, we, the
Mhm.
intermediate state, is in the middle, and Prakriti is
Mhm.
on the left side. As simple as that. So
Mhm.
when we are anchored in the pure soul,
Mhm.
that is Shuddha Upyog, and are remaining very clear observer of mind, body, speech.
Mhm.
So that is Shuddha Upyog.
Mhm.
Now that does not remain 24/7. It remains, it goes. It remains, it goes.
Correct.
So how much of that Shuddha Upyog remained or did not remain? Who observes that? That is the pure soul who observe it.
Yes.
So that is what Dada is trying to say. So what is that called? So that is called upyog par upyog, basically.
Uh-huh.
That
Okay.
is called upyog par upyog. Because how
Mhm.
much of that upyog was maintained is the upyogs that someone is seeing.
Mhm.
Upyog par upyog means the upyog to see how much of Shuddha upyog is sustained. So that is the pure soul state or the function of the pure soul. Keval. Yes. So
Correct.
what is that called?
Correct.
That is called Keval Gnan or Vignan
Correct.
Swarup. That's all. He has used 2, 3 words, but it defines.
Mhm.
It goes over there itself. So today, who is operating on behalf of your soul? It's the Prajna. So Prajna
Mhm.
is seeing how much of the upyog is being maintained. So
Mhm.
upyog par upyog is Vignan Swarup or is Keval Gnan Swarup is what Dada is trying to say. And Shuddha Upyog is the function of the intermediate I. Because
Mhm.
I today, the I with the right belief that I am the pure
Mhm.
soul, that
Mhm.
I is remaining in Agnas. That I is trying to remain separate, is trying to be an observer. So that I is maintaining the Shuddha Upyog.
Mhm.
Now, as we advance in Gnan, as Deepakanandji said, as our degrees increase, and once
Mhm.
we come to 360 degrees, that I also will not remain.
Correct.
Then it will be pure Vignan Swarup or pure Keval Gnan Swarup.
Mhm.
So, because there is no doer of the Shuddhupyog.
Mhm.
The Shuddhupyog raknaro nahi, the person
Mhm.
keeping should be not there. So, till that time we are Shuddhupyog, and how
Mhm.
much of that Shuddhupyog is sustained is being observed by pure soul. Which, what do you call that, these things? It's called Upyog par Upyog. That is a vigilance on how much of the Shuddh vigilance is maintained.
I mean,
These are only words just to identify where we are and what is the final journey. If you are able to catch it, it is fine. Even if you're not able to catch it, also equally fine. Right now, keep on the Shuddhupyog as the destination, and that Keval Gnan will come in the next
correct. Correct. But I never knew there was a state beyond that
Yes,
till Dada explained that.
yes, because that is the ultimate state. That is the Keval Gnan state. Now, when in Keval Gnan, that intermediate I is zero. It does not exist.
Yes.
It has merged with the pure soul.
Mhm.
કે ને હું પછી એમાં ભળી જાય. So
Mhm.
so that I, the intermediate I, will get merged with the pure soul. So only mind, body, speech on one side and pure soul awareness on one side. That is that Keval Gnan. Only two will remain.
Mhm.
That is that Keval Gnan state.
Mhm.
So these are words, this is terminology to explain where we are and where we would be going. That's all. Nothing to be confused about or not to be this thing. समझ
Yeah,
में आया तो ठीक है,
it
नहीं
was
आया तो
just
भी
like
ठीक
it was
है.
like a layered, there's a subtle layer to Upyog. That's what I was
That is
surprised
the
about.
end destination. Shuddh Upyog will
Mhm.
increase. Today, Shuddh Upyog is there in parts and pieces. For us,
Mhm.
Shuddh Upyog part that I could remain in Shuddh for say 10 minutes, say 5 minutes, say
Mhm.
half an hour. Then it went away. Then again it came. Then it went away. Then again it came. So as that increases, the duration of our Shuddhupyog increases. Yes, I'm able to remain for 5 hours at Shuddhupyog. Then Dada
Mhm.
was in a very enhanced state. For most of his waking hours, he was in Shuddhupyog. You see?
Yes.
So what will happen now? As that hours of waking state of Shudupyog increase, where will it ultimately end? It will ultimately end in Keval Gnan, where it is there 24/7.
Yes.
So that is at Upyog, so that is at Keval Gnan state. That is what he's trying to say.
Thank you.
So, okay, chalo, JSS.
Okay, our time is up. So, Deepakanji, can you do 10 minutes?
Just a minute.
Everybody follow?
Look, Dr. Lalita Ben,
Yes.
just share those few lines. We will
Okay.
contemplate.
Okay. Okay. So this is about Pratikraman. I'm not sure if we've done this before, but I'll read it. हमने भूल की, डॉक्टर राधे, हमने भूल की ये हमको मालूम पड़ने पर उसका प्रतिक्रमण करें तो कैसे हमारे दोष से मुक्त हो जाएंगे. सो दादाश्री, भूल हो रही है वो तो परिणाम है, और उसका कॉजेस क्या था, वो कॉज था वो खराब था, इसलिए ये प्रतिक्रमण करना है. वो रिजल्ट के लिए नहीं, रिजल्ट तो उसका कुछ भी आएगा, इसीलिए प्रतिक्रमण सब खलास करता है. समझ गया डॉक्टर राधे? कॉज का प्रतिक्रमण करना है, कॉजेस को मारता है ये प्रतिक्रमण. दादाश्री, कॉजेस को मारता है ये प्रतिक्रमण, रिजल्ट को नहीं मारता. किसी को हमने नुकसान किया तो हम प्रतिक्रमण करेंगे, और हमने फिर किसी का नुकसान किया तो फिर हम प्रतिक्रमण करेंगे. नुकसान हुआ वह तो इफेक्ट है, रिजल्ट है. नुकसान करने का जो इरादा था हमारा पूर्व जन्म में, वो कॉज है. प्रतिक्रमण करने से वह इरादा टूट जाता है, इसीलिए प्रतिक्रमण ये सब साफ हो जा इसलिए प्रतिक्रमण से ये सब साफ हो जाता है. ये साइंटिफिक इन्वेंशन है. That was again another layer to it. Because
Fantastic.
I always thought Pratikraman was for the immediate dukh that I have caused somebody.
I mean, I will just quickly say what Dada has said, even in that, this has come up in the Pratikraman book. It has said, Dada has said, Akram Pratikraman addresses the cause, and Kramik Pratikraman addresses the effect. And that is why it is cause for a Punya Karma in the Kram path, step by step path, whereas Akram path, Pratikraman is total annihilation of the karma, cause.
The seed.
Yeah.
See, basically, what
Step
Dada
by
is
step.
saying is
Yeah.
cause means whatever opinions we have formed in the last birth, it is those that we are cancelling out or opposing by doing Pratikrama. So that is how it addresses the cause. I think we can use this as a point of discussion or satsang in the next week's satsang. Huh? We can elaborate on, because right now we are approaching our time. So we will take this as a point, how it addresses cause and something. Okay. Yes, Chair.
That'll be nice. Thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Deepakanji.
Jai Sachidanand, Namo Vitragai.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo
Namo
Arihantanam.
Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Savapavapanasano.
Savapavapanasano.
Mangalanam cha Savesim.
Mangalanam cha Savesim.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
ओम नमः शिवाय।
Om
Om
Namah
Namah
Shivaya.
Shivaya.